Hi guys, Samantha from Jessama Tutorials here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a shadow cane, otherwise known as a translucent cane. So what you're going to need for this tutorial is translucent, I'm using Primo translucent, black and white. All of these are Primo. And what we're going to do is we're going to stack the black on the white and just trim it up, because we are going to wrap around our translucent. And I've rolled my translucent into a log for use. And now today I'm going to be doing a translucent lace cane, as it has been requested by quite a few people. But a translucent cane is basically just a cane with an image in it that goes translucent, and at the end of the video I'll show you what I mean by that. So now we've got a stack just like that, and we're going to condense our log down until it fits this width. Okay, and if you guys are looking for tutorials on shadow canes, try looking under the name translucent cane. I found that translucent cane is a more common name than shadow cane. But anyway, you'll just take your piece, lay it on top of your stacked sheets, and now it can be, there's something that you need to think of beforehand. Since this is translucent, the outer colour that's wrapped around it is going to affect its colour. If the white is wrapped closest to it, it's going to appear light. If the black is wrapped closest to it, it's going to appear dark. So I'm going to wrap it with the white, but that's just something that you need to consider when you're doing this. You don't have to use black and white, you can use any colour you want, but if it's a dark colour, the translucent's going to appear dark, and if it's a light colour, the translucent's going to appear light. Okay, so we've got a little bit of extra. So what you'll do is you'll just roll up to the excess and then push lightly and then unroll again. And so hopefully you can see it, there's a slight line there. I'll push on it again to try and get it a bit more obvious. There we are. So hopefully you can see it, there's a bit of a dip along here. And that helps me know exactly where I need to cut. And then you'll just close off that gap, just like that, and then just roll it to get rid of the line. And this will also start reducing it, because you want to reduce this down, and since we're doing a lace cane, we want lots of little bullseye canes. And at the end of the video I'll show you some variations on translucent canes, and I'll also show you what I have done using a translucent lace cane, so you can see what it's going to look like after it's been baked. So I've reduced this down quite a bit, because we need lots of them. Okay, so that's basically as far as I'm going to go. Translucent has a bit of a different texture compared to other clays, so sometimes it's a bit more brittle than most of the clays, so you can accidentally get breakages. And I wasn't being careful enough, so you need to look out for that. In this case it's not a disaster since it's a simple cane, but if there had been a more complex cane it wouldn't have been so good. Okay, so I'm just going to chop equal lengths of the bullseye canes, the translucent bullseye canes. Okay, and I'll just chop it in half one last time. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to pop them together in random fashion. Now if you want to get a more square look to your bullseye canes, if you want your bullseye canes to have sharp edges to them after you've reduced this, you're going to stack it in weird positions like that and then condense that into a round. But I want to get almost like a honeycomb look, so I'm going to stick them together in a more roundish fashion, like that. so that should come out with them looking a little bit more round. I'll bring over a lace cane that's been done using a more radical effect so that it becomes more of a triangle. The shapes form into more triangular shapes, but this one they should form more into round shapes. Okay, and so you'll just squish it together like that and reduce it down slightly. You don't want to reduce this too much, just enough so that I'm sure that it's all nicely compacted together. Then I'll bring over my blade and slice each end off. And that's what we have. So that's basically a translucent lace cane in its raw state. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring over my blade and I'm going to take a nice thin slice, just like that, and I'm going to go and bake that so I can show you exactly what translucent lace canes are supposed to do. Okay, so here are the two chips that I've baked. One is fairly thick and the other one is paper thin. So depending on how thin your chip is, that dictates how translucent your translucent is going to be. So I'm just going to bring over a Polymer wrapper that I've got so that I can show you how clear this is. So I'll just bring over the thick one first. And so here you can see that you can't really see the words. I'll move away. Can't really see any of the words through that one, so that one's too thick. But if you put this one on, hopefully you can see that the words show through on this one. So if I were to take it over there, you can see that the colour has slightly come through. And that is the point of a shadow cane or a translucent cane. The translucent areas, which are the inside of these little bubbles, are supposed to go translucent so that you can see a pattern from underneath them. So I'm going to bring over some examples of what I've done with this technique. Here's one of them, and I'll just brighten this up so you can see better. There we go. Here's one, and it's got a translucent lace cane like the one that we made over the top of my starry night technique. I'll provide a link to my starry night technique if you're interested, but this is basically what a translucent shadow cane is supposed to do. It's supposed to show through the pattern while also creating a pattern on top. And there are a few other examples. Here's another one where I've got a shadow cane on the side over here. That was just on plain translucent, so in this one I didn't really want a pattern showing through, I just wanted the shadow cane to be the pattern. Then here's another one where I've got the shadow cane over here, and this is the example of the one if you had been a bit more abstract when you were constructing all of those bullseye canes together and you didn't form it into a somewhat round pattern, you would get this more triangular look. So I'll bring over our one that we did today so that you can compare. You can see it, this one's shapes are a lot rounder than this one's shapes. But you can see it, there's also purple showing through in this one because that's what's under the shadow cane. And then our last one, which isn't really the one that we made today, but it's still a translucent cane, it's a translucent lace cane, is this one, where I've got some translucent, oh, not a translucent lace cane, a translucent coral cane. So those are the beads that I've made, and the one that actually brought forth the request was this necklace over here, where I've used the translucent lace cane right at the bottom of the bead over here. And the background is white. The lace cane is resting on a white background, if you were wondering. And there's actually multiple translucent canes in this project. There's a rose, there's a leaf, There's a few other ones. And I'll be doing a tutorial on this one on my Patreon account in sometime in the future. I'm not sure when. I'll release an intro video for when I do it, but I will be doing a tutorial on this necklace. Now I did promise a few more, so I'll just bring over some examples of raw lace canes. Here's one where I've done a leaf and the translucent is, well, you've got black and translucent in this one. And then I'll bring over the exact same technique, but this time using white, just to show you what a difference the white can make to what the translucent looks like. So here we are. So you can see that this one comes across looking, the translucent in here looks a bit more beige than this one. This one looks more grey. So that's why I was discussing earlier, that you need to be careful what colours you put next to your translucent, because they will affect the translucent colour. So that's basically my tutorial on a translucent cane, otherwise known as a shadow cane. And so I do hope that this tutorial was helpful to you, and if it was, please do check the links below. If you're watching on YouTube, I have a link to my website down there, jessamatutorials.com, where I have articles and places where you can send in pictures of the projects you've made and all sorts of other things that I'm sure you'll find useful. And if you're watching this on my website, jessamatutorials.com, please check below the video, as there will be a form down there where you can send in pictures of what you've done using this cane. And I, of course, look forward to seeing those, as it's always fun to see what you guys come up with. And as always, I hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now! Thank you.